On the top floor of Jean's home is his orchid house, a refuge from the work below.
They take quite a bit of work. That became very important because it was something I could treat as they needed to be treated, and not expecting miracles, but if you don't treat orchids right or anything else in life, then it's not going to thrive.
How did it feel watching your work spread?
Oh, that spread was really quite remarkable. I was thinking, I'm still amazed. I'm still amazed. So to have this piece, which I regard as very introductory, I think it was maybe 70 or 80 pages, to take off like that was a confirmation that the analysis was more or less accurate. It didn't spread because of good propaganda or some sales pitch. It spread because people found it usable. They found it important.
The books are there, the literature is there, it's online, it's in people's homes and people's hard drives, and it's being disseminated at a level where that cannot stop, and it cannot be stopped. People go to great lengths to discredit this work, and there was one case where President Chavez had referred to our staff as the bunch of gringos at the Albert Einstein Institution don't understand Venezuela. And I thought, well, it's true that we may not fully understand the situation in Venezuela. It's probably quite complex, but I'm not a gringo.
Gene Sharp, George Bush y sus ideólogos de este golpe suave mecha lenta, señores, este plan de ustedes aquí en Venezuela, olvídense.
In 2008, the Iranian government broadcast a propaganda video accusing Jean of working for the CIA.
کاخ سفید، واشنگتن دی سی. جین شارپ، نظریه پرداز نافرمانی مدنی و تئوریسین انقلاب‌های مخملین که تألیفاتی در این موضوع دارد. وی از اوامر CIA جهت نفوذ در کشورهای مورد نظر می باشد.
Now you've seen our office, you can see how well funded we are.
In a way, I was impressed that we were on the radar, that they had Gene Sharp sitting at the White House, and in a way I thought, I wish those in the White House would listen to us. I wish they would request a meeting with us, but they don't. We sit here, we operate out of our two-room office. We have no connection with the White House.
It just doesn't happen. We don't do that.
We are absolutely not a CIA front organization. And it's really ironic because we see this charge in the press and among various groups quite often. And we always wonder, where is this coming from?
After the Iranian elections in 2009, opposition groups declared the result was a fix.
There are thousands upon thousands of people streaming down through the main boulevard, all heading in the same direction. It's quite something. They're waving green flags. People are hanging out of cars, giving the V for Victory signs. I was not sure people would turn up given the warning, and I'm wrong.
Thousands of protesters exploded onto the streets of Tehran. The government response was brutal. During the uprising, a young Iranian student, Neda Aga Sultan, was shot by a government sniper. Her image would become a rallying call for the opposition.
When people are slaughtered, when they are beaten, this produces a process of what I call political jiu-jitsu, in which the opponent's supposed strength is used to undermine the opponent by alienating more people from supporting that regime, mobilizing more people into the active resistance.
It's a kind of backlash effect. is the regime is so brutal that instead of intimidating people, which the regime intends, it causes other population groups and institutions to withdraw their cooperation and their obedience, and that loss of power and control, that more people join the resistance.
Yasin Athanadis was arrested by Iranian intelligence while reporting the Green Uprising.
When I went to see the chief prosecutor on the second day that I was in prison, he looked at me when I took off my blindfold, sitting in his office, and he said, "Do you know why you're here?" And I said, "No, I mean, I have no idea. I've just been arrested, 2 nights ago." And he said, "Well, there's a very serious accusation against you." I said, "What is that?" He's like, "Are you sure you don't know?" Espionage. The interrogator kind of patted his laptop and said, "This laptop contains a Persian language translation of Gene Sharp's From Dictatorship to Democracy, which is a handbook for insurrectionists. And it gives them several dozen easy ways by which, if they only follow these ways, they can overthrow a government, a legitimate government, any kind of government." I've read this book, and so have my colleagues.
When the organizers of the uprising were arrested, they were charged with using over 100 of Gene Sharp's 198 methods.
What this work does is show people that they themselves can be responsible for their own future, for their own liberation.
People are beginning to liberate themselves. They don't have to depend on an outside power. This is Sergei, my cat, named after Sergei Popovich. But they don't have to depend on an outside power. They can do it themselves. And can you imagine how good that makes a country feel? That we did it ourselves. And that's why it's so important that we transfer the skill and knowledge. There's no reason for the United States to be occupying anybody. We're not good at occupying anybody. Neither was the Soviet Union good at occupying people. Let the people alone. Give them the power to change their government if they want it changed.
To be counted as a threat to a tyrant is a matter of pride, I would say. It means we're effective. It means we're relevant. It means out of this very small office, we produce work that threatens regimes. And I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
This was the beginning of the Egyptian revolution. The uprising was spontaneous, but Egyptian democracy groups had been working on the strategy for years. Egyptian democracy group Kafaya first visited Gene in Boston in 2006. 5 years later, former Serbian revolutionaries were training new groups on the outskirts of Cairo, and Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood posted Gene's work in Arabic on their website. When the moment came, these groups were ready to guide the revolution.
Well, let's go live to Tahrir Liberation Square. We can speak to a freelance journalist who joins us on the line now. Rory, we were hearing about those heightened security measures today around Tahrir Square. Is there a different atmosphere here compared with, say, yesterday and the day before?
Yes, it's an incredible atmosphere today. That cross-section of Egyptian society that left Tahrir Square yesterday is back in force now. They've managed to re-energize the protest. There's very young children, women, older men here. People are singing and dancing. There are many instruments in the square, and it's more full here than it has been in days.
Ahmed Maher was the leader of Egypt's April 6th democracy group.
مستنيين الحدث اللي هيكون شرارة اللي هيحرك الناس كلها بصورة كبيرة. كان في محفزات كتير حصلت، لكن الشرارة نفسها اللي تحرك الناس كنا مستنيينها. ودي كانت تونس. بالفعل كان في اصلا بين مصر وتونس منافسه في كره القدم باستمرار يعني. فقد يكون ده يعني ازاي احنا بادئين من قبل تونس ولقينا ان تونس سبقتنا وقامت بالثوره، فليه احنا مش كده؟ كان كل الناس كاتبين على الانترنت الاجابه تونس. طبعا بالتأكيد كان في تأثير جيد لكتابات جين شارب ومقالات كثيرة وكتب كنا جبناها من الانترنت وقريناها، وبدأنا بالفعل نطور من أدائنا بصورة كبيرة جدا، وعرفنا جوهر فكرة اللاعنف بصفة عامة. وكذلك شفنا برضو أفلام وثائقية كتير موجودة على الانترنت بتتكلم عن تجارب شعوب اللي بدأت تتكلم عن أو تطبق فكرة اللاعنف. فكان في إلهام كبير جدا للفكرة نفسها، سواء من الأفلام الوثائقية اللي شفناها أو من الكتب اللي قريناها.
As the peaceful protests grew in Tahrir Square, President Hosni Mubarak intimidated them with weapons of war.
يمكن تجربتنا مختلفة عن تجربة أدبر شوية. أدبر قدروا إنه قبل الثورة يكسبوا الجيش والشرطة معاهم. إحنا مختلفين شوية. إحنا الشرطة كان طبعا معركة كبيرة جدا، والجيش كان واقف على الحياد طول الوقت واتدخل لصالحنا في نهاية المطاف يعني. فالتجربة مختلفة إلى حد كبير بيننا وبين تجربة أدبر في صربيا.
Even after violent clashes with police, the revolutionary leaders restored non-violent discipline in the face of overwhelming force. The protesters faced brutal attacks from police and security forces, but they held their ground.
طبعا التكنولوجيا كان لها دور كبير جدا في التواصل بصوره اسرع، في توصيل رسائل للناس كلها وحشدهم احيانا. كان في دور للتكنولوجيا عن طريق التنظيم الداخلي. ساعات كنا مثلا عندك مجموعات في المحافظات، فانت عايز تكون على تواصل دائم بمجموعاتك في المحافظات، فبدل ما نعمل اجتماع كل اسبوعين لرؤوس المحافظات، طبعا ممكن عن طريق الفيسبوك، عن طريق سيكريت جروب على الفيسبوك، عن طريق كونفرنس على الياهو او على سكايب او على بالتوك، عن اي برنامج نستخدمه للتواصل باستمرار. كل الحاجات دي ساعدت كتير عن طريق نشر الافكار.
As Muslims and Christians guarded each other while they prayed, the leaders of the revolution were persuading the army to support the protesters.
ولكن ايه اللي خلى الجيش يساندنا في الاخر؟ اعتقد ان الجيش اصلا من الناس، يعني مجندين الجيش جزء من الشعب، والجيش ليه دور وطني كبير جدا. الشرطه قد يكون لها دور في تزوير الانتخابات، في حمايه الفاسدين، فمتورطين من سنين طويله، وبالتالي دافعوا عن مصالحهم وعن بقائهم.